Hey, it's Donald. Donald with TSC. Sorry, I missed you. Can you give me a call when you get a chance? Just following up about the program that you were interested in. Don't ever leave a weak sauce voicemail or even a follow-up like that. Instead, do this. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Donald C. Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. And I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. On this episode, we're going to go into a quick 5-minute tip when it comes to follow-up. All I got to tell you here is follow up. But there's a better way to do it. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, this show is designed simply to help you to 3 to 5x your sales pipeline with quality opportunity and help you to close twice as many deals. If you want to learn more how we can do that with you, you can check out our sales mastermind, where we encourage sales professionals like you to come to practice, to get a chance to interact and to engage, to have accountability. Everyone that's come into the mastermind has seen a skyrocket in their pipeline and in the deals closed. Would love to have you join us. But let's go into this episode today. We're going to focus specifically on follow-up. Recently, we did an episode on this topic as well. We have many in the archive. Way back, like episode number 7 or 8 or 12 was Julie. And she talked a lot about this, and she had a book on follow-up. But follow-up is critical. Most times, salespeople forget to follow up. And here's the scenario, like straight up, like in that situation, you call a prospect, they don't answer, and you say just following up. Like, imagine how many of those calls they get, because that's the default. That's boring. That doesn't work. The other thing that happens as well is that your prospects' lives get pretty complex. They have school with their kids. They have work. They have their social life. And they have tons of other things on their plate. The last thing on their mind is that they needed to reconnect with you. Yes, they may have a burning problem. However, it's your job to do that. So when you think about this in many scenarios, the prospect could be very well interested. It's just that there are other things that they feel at this point needs to be prioritized or took over that level of priority. Not necessarily that it is, not necessarily that, that they don't want to talk to you or more important than your solution. Let me give you an example. I remember once I was working with some individuals when it comes to looking at YouTube and looking at some tools that we can utilize to be able to help our YouTube channel. Life got busy. I have tons of other things that came into play. But however, that individual, obviously we still wanted to work with them. It just wasn't the right time. But because they followed up, they came top of mind. It wasn't that I was ignoring per se. It's just a simple fact that things came up. But they followed up and it kept the conversation going. It's critical that you do the same exact thing when it comes towards your when it comes towards your sales process. You need to follow up. And here are several things that I will tell you when it comes towards following up. One, always book the appointment at the end of the first appointment. That's one of the easiest way to ensure that you have quality follow-up meetings, or that you have a next step and that next step is actually fulfilled. Most times we get off of a call and it's kind of like sales 101, but then we all of a sudden feel like we don't want to pressure the prospect, or maybe they're in a rush. So we just tell them, hey, I'll call you. I'll follow up with you. It is dead on the vine. If this is something that's important, if you feel that it's that important, you need to help me to understand that it's that important, that's severe. So you try to help me to get that appointment. And the way I would go about doing that is saying, Donald, I know you're a busy person and I know things are going to come up. Let's go ahead and pencil in a time that we can reconnect for our next visit to go over blank. Does next Wednesday afternoon work, or a time like this work again? Perfect. Let's go ahead and do that. And we'll plan to have 15, 20 minutes. If you really want to be effective as a seller, send them an agenda. You can have a basic outline agenda that you have as a template that can show them what to expect in that meeting. Number 2 is look for creative ways to follow up. And what I mean by this is that doing a phone call or sending an email are not the only ways that you can follow up. You know that, right? There are many other ways. And one of the ways that works significantly well is just doing a LinkedIn connection, or a LinkedIn message, or engaging on a piece of content that they have on LinkedIn. All of these are follow-up, because what it does to the prospect, it helps to trigger that they need to reconnect with you or bring you back up top of mind. The third thing I will tell you is just to do it. Go back to what I was talking about with the story. You may feel it's awkward. Like, I don't want to call them again. I don't want to reach out to them. I don't want to bug them. You're not bugging them if you have a solution that can help them. If you can really help this organization, if your offering, your value is relevant to the situations at hand, to a situation at hand for them, then why in the world do you feel that you're doing something wrong? Unless you're hustling them and trying to get money from them that they don't have, or giving them a solution that doesn't work, or selling them something they don't need. If it's not any of those, then do it. You're doing them a disservice if you're not reaching back out to them. So I highly encourage this. Take advantage of follow-up. Follow-up, follow-up, follow-up. Listen, that sucker is going to make you money. I would love to hear from you. What are some of the ways that you're following up? And if you want to have that accountability, get some guidance, check out our sales mastermind. We only have about 10 people in each pod, or each of these mastermind or cohorts. And it allows for us to be able to have meaningful discussions, to practice some of our sales approaches, to listen to some of our tapes, to get feedback maybe on objections we're facing, or how we can best reach out and to connect with more prospects. There's so many things that you can help with. Come into our mastermind and get an experience with that. Find more information down below, or go to thesalesevangelist.com/mastermind, thesalesevangelist.com/mastermind. Can't wait to have you. As always, check out our sponsors, take advantage of them, and let's help you to 3 to 5x your sales pipeline and double your close rate. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.